Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Mr. Rich. Today we're going to be covering Unit 2, Day 1, Commercial Applications. This is my contact information, and the objectives of today is install a time delay to power a light or a motor, to interpret logic diagram, energize and de-energize the system, as well as adding the time delay and adjusting the time on that time delay. Now the equipment we need: plywood, lab bolt, tools, wire stripper, screwdriver set. Materials: we're gonna need an 8-pin base, 8-pin time delay, power cord, forest boxes, ring covers, luminaire switch, anti-shorts if you're using MC, and a transformer, 120 to 24 volts. Now, right over here, before we get into that, is our schematic, it's our diagram. So now let's demonstrate and show the ladder logic diagram. So here we have line 1, which represents the hot. Then this is our single pole switch. And line 2, L2, represents the neutral. So when we turn on the switch, this energizes the coil of the time delay. Once this coil is energized, time delay turns on. So the normally open contact will close, and then that voltage is fed to our luminaire here. So we're gonna move into the diagram right over here and explain the 8-pin base and how we wired up our system. So first things first, we have, well, in this lab, we use 2 separate power cords, which works fine. So this is an 8-pin base for the time delay. Pin 1 and pin 8 represents the power input. Pin 7 and 2 represent the coil. The coil for this specific time delay is rated at 24 volts. So this means that we need to use a transformer to step down that voltage from 120 to 24. So we do that here. Switch closes, 120 volts applied. We step down at 120 to 24, feeds into the coil, pins 7 and 2. Now, a separate power cord is used to energize pins 1, 8. Now, normally, the normally closed here will be opening and closing depending on the time setting of the time delay. So now, let's modify this here. So these pin 5 and 4 are normally closed, and pin 3 and 6 are normally open. Okay. So this pin will then close once that voltage is fed in to the time delay. Now after some time, this normally open becomes normally closed, will then become normally open. We have here a luminaire. Okay. Instead of you could use a motor or a luminaire. So now let's check out our system, how we wired it up. So we have 2 separate pigtails, power cords. So this power cord here is feeding into the pin 1 and pin 8 of our time base, of the base, right here. This power cord is feeding voltage to the switch, and when it's closed, that will feed to the transformer to step down the voltage from 120 to 24. That's applied to pins 7 and 2. And then this pin right here is normally open. That will become normally closed. So that will then turn on this light. And then after some time, this is a single shot time delay. So this means that it will only close once after some time. Then you have to reset it. We'll go ahead and change this to 5-second time delay. And then we're gonna go ahead and connect this to the base. All right, what we expect is after 5 seconds, the light will turn off. So we're gonna plug in our power source. And then let's test out our circuit. Light turns on. After 5 seconds, the light should turn off. it works, then you have to reset it since it's a single shot. So a couple things to know here. It can be done many ways. This is just one of the many ways. You could have your students do it any way you feel like is best. You can combine a bunch of creativity to it. So here we use MC, and it's important if we do use MC, you have to use an anti-short. Proper connector, which is a MC connector, okay? So then that feeds in here. Terminal block, everything has a rated ampacity, so we have to be mindful of that. Rated ampacity for this, it's gonna be 10 amps for this block. And then this, secondary voltage, 40 volt amp over 24, about 2 amps, a little less. This can supply up to 10 amps. So this will be very well for a motor. Motors are, usually the ones we use are less than 10 amps, maybe 3-4 amps. This one right here draws about like 0.1 amp. So the combined total is less than 15 amps. It's within that range, so should work fine. It's safe. So let's kind of go over an overview of what we've done. So we have a step down transformer taking 120 volts coming in, feeding in from the single pole switch. 24 volts feeds into pin 7 and 2 of the coil. And then that power pins 1 and 8 is from a separate power cord. And then normally open contact will close, energize the light. After some time T, you can set it to where you need to. It will make that normally close, normally open, and it's a single shot, this one, so we have to reset it every time. So that's a general overview of the system. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time.